Top of the morning to you. As some of you know who follow my Instagram page, my Facebook page, I'm a weird guy, 41, and I'm already into antiquing stuff. And lately, you know, it's funny too, we also talk on our podcast about how things are changing, how obviously more people are buying things online, and that affects the retail stores, and more retail stores are closing down. And then on last night's podcast, I was talking about how Carrie's Pharmacy, her insurance doesn't want to pay for a particular medication, so she's paying out of pocket. The catch is they don't want to pay for that medication through the pharmacy. They will happily pay for it if it's mailed to her house because they don't want to pay the pharmacy fees. And so what's going to happen over the years is we're going to have less places to go shopping. And I think one of the things that Facebook Marketplace is going to have a huge effect on is the retail antique store. Because to be quite honest with you, like the last 5 or 6 items I have purchased, like today, have been off Facebook Marketplace. Now, obviously, Facebook Marketplace is for everyday people. There's no overhead, there's no rent, and so you don't have to mark up your prices of your items. For example, there's a new, huge antique mall over in Fort Myers that recently opened, and it's one of those places where you rent a booth, you take all your stuff, you sell it. The mall gets a percentage, and that causes the owners of the stuff to drive the prices up to pay for not only renting the booth, but to pay for the percentage that the mall gets. And so anyhow, more and more people are starting to sell their antiques on Facebook for lower prices, which makes them move quicker, and they don't have to do the game of marking it up just to put a 50% price on it. And so I want to give you guys who aren't into this a tip on haggling, dickering, or bartering. Not bartering, bartering's trading. Sometimes that works too, but haggling, dickering, talking people down. Perfect example. This was posted on Facebook Marketplace for about 2 weeks. It was originally $20, and then she marked it down to 15. It is roached out, it is a thermometer, but it's original and it's Coke. And so I sent a message asking if it was still available, and lo and behold, it was. And so I just went over there. Now I knew that this thing's only $15, but I didn't want to pay $15 for it. I would like to pay 10. Usually when you go back and forth, they want 15, you offer 10, they come back with you at 12, 12.50, what have you. First and foremost, don't be afraid to try to haggle over the price. It's part of the deal. A lot of people feel nervous, especially if you've never done this before. You've been shopping at places your entire life where prices are set. Whereas back when I was a little bit younger and I used to sell TVs, people would actually come in and try to negotiate on the price of a TV. Think about doing that now. I doubt I couldn't tell you the last time if we were sitting here with a Best Buy employee that someone came in and actually tried to talk the manager down a couple $100 on TV. Back when they were super expensive and they were large projection screen TVs, people treated them like cars, and they would come in, and I used to sell those TVs, and they would haggle with me over prices. I'd have to get the manager involved, and we would make it happen. Anyhow, those days are long gone with the exception of cars and houses. And so most of y'all who've never done any antiquing have probably had no experience in bartering. So first and foremost, don't feel nervous about it. I've actually had people have me do it for them. Happened on more than one occasion. I enjoy doing it. So anyhow, here's a little secret. So let's say this guy, which it was on Facebook for $15, but you didn't want to pay 15. You were hoping to pay 10, maybe 12.50, 15 at the worst case scenario. When you're going to the person's house to buy said item, and you're hoping to get it cheaper than what they ask for, don't put all your money in one pocket. Okay? Let's say you're hoping at the highest end you had to pay 12 for that. Put a $10 bill, 2 ones in your front pocket, put the 5 in your back pocket. That way, worst case scenario, if you can't get her down to 10 or 12, you have to pay the full 15, you're not driving over there with not enough money on you, looking like an asshole. But, speaking of looking like an asshole, you don't want to talk them down to $12 and then go pull 15 out of your pocket and ask them for change. You want them to think that that's all the money you had on them, had for them, so they feel better about the deal, and you feel better about the deal. So think of the price that you're willing to pay or that you hope to pay in advance. Separate your cash that way. Once again, don't go there with a $20 bill after you just bartered after you just adjusted it down to 12 bucks and asked for change. You're gonna look like a jerk, okay? If it's 15 bucks, you can talk them down to 12, don't pull out $15. Stop before you go there, get some change. If you're wanting to pay 12 bucks, put a 10 and 2 1 in your front pocket, put the 5 in your back pocket. And if you can't get the deal done and you got to pay the full 15 bucks, pull the 10 out of your front pocket, pull the 5 out of your back pocket. Have a nice day. So that's just a little tip on the etiquette of I keep wanting to say bartering. If you can barter for stuff, even better. There was a thing on YouTube a couple years back called not paying it forward, but working their way up. A guy would find like something like this, right? He'd buy it for 15 bucks. He would go online and trade this up. He would trade up for something more valuable to somebody who's a Coca-Cola freak, and then take that item and try to trade it up more valuable. And I think somebody actually traded up starting with something worth $5, and within like 8 months traded it up to a house. I think there's TV shows that were doing the same thing for a while. So if you are good at trading up and bartering, by all means. But you know, that is just a little my gift to you when it comes to haggling or dickering over price. Once the dickering is done, don't leave looking like a jerk because you pulled out a wad of cash and then paying it down. A little tip from me to you. Hope it helps. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know the deal. Click on subscribe, click the bell so you can get notification. Comment, let me know what you guys want to know, what you want to see. And thank you guys for your support, and we'll talk to you soon.